Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together was a tactical role-playing game that was released in 1996 and was written, designed, and directed by Yasui Matsuno. If that name seems familiar, that's because he was also the writer and director of Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, and Final Fantasy XII. He was also the scenario writer of two major stories found in Final Fantasy XIV. These were the Return to Ivalice Alliance raid questline, and its sequel, Save the Queen, The Blades of Gunhilda. While there are many references and allusions to Tactics Ogre throughout FF14, one of the major ones is the two Valerian gear sets that were added in the Heavensward and Stormblood expansions. So, for the upcoming release of Tactics Ogre Reborn, and with Final Fantasy XIV celebrating this by making the original versions of these gear sets dyable, I decided to show off each of these sets and show you their inspirations. First up, we have the initial set of Valerian gear introduced in Heavensward, and is available as loot from the dungeons of Neverreap and the Fractal Continuum. All this gear is level 60 with an item level of 160. There is also a dyable variant set of this gear that was added in Stormblood as the level 62 crafted gear. For fending jobs, we have the Valerian Terror Knight attire. This is based on the design of the generic male Terror Knight units. Trained to intimidate, these warriors are the backbone of units designed to decimate their enemies without remorse. While their official art shows them wielding a sword and shield, these chaotic aligned knights prefer the use of large two-handed swords and axes. In addition, the golden armour of the variant version of this attire may be a reference to Ducas Windleband Gattialo, a Terror Knight clad in gold who was fought early in the second chapter of Tactics Ogre. For maiming jobs, we have the Valerian Dragoon attire. This is based on the generic male Dragoon units. Similar to their Final Fantasy namesake, the Dragoon is an elite warrior clad in dragon-like armour, from which is said they harness the might of dragons. They tend to favour spears and swords as their weapons of choice to better slay their favoured marks. Aiming jobs get the Valerian Fusilier attire. While this does not seem to be based on the current Fusilier design seen in the PSP re-release of Tactics Ogre, it may instead be based on the original sprite from the 1996 SNES version. Mostly originating from the technologically advanced country of Balboade, these warriors wield the exotic Fusil as their weapon of choice. There is also a second variant of this attire that can be obtained from lockboxes received in Eureka Animos. This version is a level 1 glam set that can be worn by all classes. Additionally, the headpiece for this set was also used in Shadowbringers for the Nabath attire of fending and Nabath attire of maiming. Scouting and striking jobs have the Valerian Rogue and Valerian Smuggler attire respectively. These are both based on the design of the generic male rogue unit. Similar to the classic Final Fantasy Thief job, these are dexterous warriors who are capable of relieving enemies of their treasured goods and laying traps to snare the unwary. The smuggler attire here is a simple colour variation, most likely due to there not being the equivalent of a monk-style class in Tactics Ogre. Casting jobs have the Valerian Wizard attire. This is based on the design of the generic male wizard unit. These spellcasters devote their lives to uncovering the mysteries of magic. Physically frail but strong of mind, the wizard studies the inner workings of magic, hoping to one day master them. In addition to the level 62 set, though not immediately obvious, the leg pieces of this set would also be reused as the icon cloth culottes of healing and icon cloth culottes of casting. Finally, the healing jobs get the Valerian Shaman attire. Rather than being based on a generic class design, this is based on the character design of Olivia Farina. Along with her sisters, Olivia is one of the few characters with access to the Shaman class, lending herself to water magic in particular. The Shaman attire would go on to be used as a base for the Aurum magic attire when it was added as leveling dungeon gear to Aurum Vale in patch 5.3. The foot pieces would also be reused as the icon leather boots of healing and icon leather boots of casting, and the body piece would get used as the Bookworm's chasuble and Therapeutes chasuble, the level 70 and 80 pseudo-artifact gear for Sage. The second set of Valerian attire was added in the Stormblood expansion. This was made available as loot from the level 69 MSQ dungeon Castrum Abania. The gear is level 69 and has an item level of 288. This set has two variations. The first is the Farlander set, a level 70 item level 325 set, obtainable from the dungeons of Hell's Lid and the Fractal Continuum Hard, but with all the roles for the set switched around. The second variant set is used as the level 72 crafted gear in Shadowbringers. Starting with the casting and healing attire this time, we have the Valerian Dark Priest and Valerian Priest attire. This is based on the character design of the main protagonist's sister, Katia Pavel, as one of her unique classes. Representing Katia's corruption and manipulation by the Dark Knight's Lothlorien, the Dark Priest acts as a counterpart to her other unique class, Princess. This attire is used as the base for the Farlander attire of scouting and aiming, and the headpiece is also used as the pixie cotton hat of crafting. Fending jobs have the Zenobian attire. This is based on the character design of Lancelot Hamilton. Wielder of the sword Lombardia and the captain of the Zenobian Holy Knights, Lancelot has unique access to the Paladin class. Similar to the Paladin of Final Fantasy, the Paladin class in Tactics Ogre acts as an upgraded version of the Knight with access to divine magic. This set would be used for the Farlander attire of maiming and Farlander attire of striking. For maiming jobs, we have the Valerian Rune Fencer attire. This is based on the design of the generic Rune Fencer unit, the male version of the Valkyrie unit which was newly added in the PSP version of Tactics Ogre. Valkyries are the warrior maidens of the gods. They attack gracefully with spears and commonly wield the powers of wind and lightning. They are also adept at wielding one-handed swords, which fits nicely with the Farlander attire of fending. Aiming jobs have the Valerian Archer attire. This is based on the design of the generic male archer unit. Wielding a bow or crossbow with deadly accuracy, archers strike down their enemies from a distance. The Farlander variant of this set goes to healing jobs. And finally, we have a slight variation of the archer attire with the Valerian Vedette and Valerian Brawler attire. These are used by scouting and striking jobs respectively, and are based on the design of the generic female archer unit. The variation would go to casting jobs, who get the Farlander attire of casting. In researching this video, I also came across 2 other sets that I could link to Tactics Ogre. First off, we have the level 60, item level 250, crafted fending attire. This is made of the following pieces: the heavy metal coif of fending, heavy metal cuirass of fending, heavy metal gauntlets of fending, hemi-skin brace of fending, and the heavy metal sabatons of fending. This set is based on the character design of Barbas Dard Geese, a member of the Dark Knight's Lothlorien who serves as one of the late-game antagonists. There is also the level 66, eye-level 279 crafted fending attire. This has the following pieces: the Doman Steel armlet of fending, Doman Steel tabard of fending, Doman Steel gauntlets of fending, married leather breeches of fending, and the Doman Steel greaves of fending. This set is based on the character design of the twins Ozma Moglacius and Oz Moglacius, who, like Barbas, are also members of the Dark Knight's Lothlorien. I really like a lot of these outfits, and in researching this video, I found a lot of interesting other references hidden away in Final Fantasy XIV. Like how Nybeth Obdelord and the Palace of the Dead are originally from Tactics Ogre, or that the backstory of character Pagagar Quo-Voxstein has her as the adopted daughter of Gant Voxstein, a beastmaster in Tactics Ogre who acts as a recurring boss and recruitable character. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's something a bit different from the usual fashion report fare. If you'd like to see more of this sort of content, where I showcase the gear from different dungeons, let me know in the comments. If you could like and share this video with others, I would appreciate it immensely. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for the fashion report.